put everybody on mute for a moment, and then, yeah, why do I start recording before I did that? There we go. Well, welcome everybody. Wow, we're in week 3 already of our 4-week contest. And one of the things I really wanted to start out with tonight is just what the goal is of a game. You think to yourself, why would we put all this energy and effort into hosting a game? And we have people at all different levels of doing the business. And what is our goal out of this? And it is simply this: it's learning how to employ yourself. How many of you have noticed when you're playing the game that you're more conscious of just employing yourself and touching it? Okay, so that is the number one goal. The prizes are just to motivate you to do it, right? But the goal is that you learn to plan out your work and then work that plan. And here's something I would really encourage you: after the game, or when you're sponsoring a new person, get them to turn that DMO sheet into you every week. Because what better way, if somebody's paying attention, it's not like you're their boss, but if you see that they've run out of people to talk to, then you know how to coach them. You know, how would you go out and find more people to talk to? Or if you're finding out that they're not turning all those prospects into customers, okay, finding out what the challenges are. So having people plan their work is probably one of the best things you can do as a sponsor. And the DMO sheet is an easy one to do it, but we kind of lose track. Some of us are that way. We want to write out our to-do list, and some of us aren't. And but I find that it's super helpful when we're in these games that everybody is doing that. The other thing is the accountability piece, and that is turning in. You know, did you do what you said you were going to do? And that is just getting to where you're accountable to yourself, where you're holding yourself accountable. But at the very beginning, it's super helpful to have somebody that you know is going to care whether you did something this week or not. So one of the things I want to encourage you to, because I've noticed some of the sheets that are turned in are just putting, I'll talk to 2 a day. No, unless you've run out of people and you're just doing a 3-foot rule, that's fine. But I really want you to think about, where am I going this week? Who am I going to run into? Who am I going to talk to? And actually write in specific names, because intention plus attention is what gives us results, right? So I want to encourage you to be specific about who you want to talk to this week. I wanted to read a quote that I thought was so good from Michael Hansen. It says, "To will is to select a goal, determine a course of action that will bring one to that goal, and then hold to that action till the goal is reached. The key is action," right? Just that daily touching your business, whether it's a little or a lot, just making that your habit. That's what's going to move you forward. And if you're self-employed in any endeavor, you know that that's the case, right? That's just how it is. Okay, so I'm going to stop for a second, because it's hard for me not to go by to talk to you about the scores and how people did during a week, to not address that early, because, okay, that's interesting. I would like to look at that on my screen. Here we go. Because that helps me to really know who I'd like to have talk to us tonight. And before we do that, our assigned business activity last week was business conversations, and we're going to talk about how you do that. Because if, and this is only going to apply to people who listen either to this live call or to the recorded call, but if you had a business conversation, that means you talked to somebody about joining our mission and invited them onto your team and followed up with information, I want you to give yourself an extra 50 points on your score sheet if you had even one and you did it. Because what that tells me is you take the assigned tasks seriously and think about, how am I going to make that happen? Whether you're trying to win the $50 or not, doesn't matter, but you think, okay, it wouldn't be getting assigned if it wasn't something really important. So I'm going to take that to heart and do that. So if you had a business conversation, and what I really wanted to encourage you to do, because a lot of people did not report their business conversations on their score sheet at the end of the week. And so if you have your score sheet near you, I want you to write in the upper right-hand corner, action call contacts, people that you actually reached out to and reached during action calls, so that you can either use tick marks or whatever, so that this week when you turn in your score sheet, you will know how many to say, okay, I reached this number of people on action calls. And because we want to give you credit. But for the people that did turn in their numbers of calls, we had over 35 people that were contacted about the business this week. And I think that's awesome. I mean, I'm sure that there were more and people didn't share their number. But I want you, for all the people that didn't have the conversation, I want to just back up for a second and help you feel more comfortable with that conversation. And I asked Sandy if she could just share how she trains her team to invite people to join our mission and to get involved. So Sandy, could you share for a couple minutes?
Sure. Okay. And it's funny because you know how we used to have a business story and a product story. I always found myself sharing my product story. And my business story, I always wanted a team. And I grew a team, obviously. I made it to National Marketing Director, but it wasn't my strong suit. Talking about the business just wasn't. What really helped me, and so this is my first suggestion, if you found that you only talked to one or two people or maybe no one last week about the business, I really encourage you to read GoPro. That helped me so much. Not make excuses, not apologize that I was part of one of those, that this was a business. And now it's just perfect. Some of my team don't even have that stigma at all because we're mission driven, right? So I just encourage you, make sure that in your story, there is something about your mission and why you're excited about the mission, because you want people early on to know that you are up to something big, and that's attractive to people. You'll find people asking you, what do you do? Why do you glow? And if you're not so excited, if you're more excited about the product than the mission, that's okay. But listen to Wendy Campbell's she just did a pep talk. And is that posted on the Game Central?
I don't think so.
I will personally make sure it gets posted because it's fantastic. For building belief and passion about our mission. So find ways to build belief and passion in the mission and work that into your story. And always just make sure you're sharing. When someone says something good happened to them on Juice Plus, you can say, oh, that's awesome. That is why I do what I do. And so make sure you're doing that. And then I always make sure everyone, when their order is shipping, whether it's the first time or it's the second time, I want to make sure they know about the thank you program. And first off, be asking lots of questions. And if they talk about their child going to college and how it's going to be a financial strain or their husband may lose their job, those are really good inroads to say something like, I have no idea if what I do would be of interest to you, but I'd love to share with you if you're open. And then you can do the if I sent you a video, would you watch it? If I scheduled a meeting in a coffee shop, would that work for you? That type of thing. And then if let's say they say, no, I am just way too busy, or that's just not, or you don't get any inroads when you're asking questions, you don't catch that, sense that they're open to a business, then you can talk to them about the HLP, which is the thank you program. And before I take someone's order, I just say, I just want to make sure you know about our thank you program. And then I explain it. And I always say it like this. if you're excited enough to order, which you are, and you have two other people, two other families, two other addresses that I can share with, that we can share with together that might need this information, then you get a couple $100. It's just our thank you program. You get $100 thank you check, and then you get the rewards, the retail profit from those 3 orders. And we've signed 2 HLPs this week doing that, and I know that at least one of them now wants to go all the way. And sometimes they're ready. The reason why I don't apologize for doing it this way is that Lenora talked to me about the business, and I changed the subject for a long time, huh, Lenora? Yep. If you would have had the thank you program, I'd have been all over that, because I was telling people, I was waiting for my Juice Plus to arrive, and I'm telling people about it, right? So I love that program, and just find what is going to work for your people, and you're asking questions, and do 3-way calls, because you may feel, especially if you're new, you may not feel comfortable asking them those questions, but I guarantee you your NMD, your team leader won't. They're not there to close a deal or be a hard sell. They're just there to ask those questions and see if there's a need. I think that's it.
Awesome. Thank you. I was just trying to, Brittany is assuming that the call was canceled tonight because I didn't post anything about it. And I'm just trying to copy the link right here so I could send it to her right quick. She tried to call you too, Sandy. Ashley, could you send her the meeting ID that's right at the top of the screen and let her know we're on? Yeah, because I was hoping to call on her in a bit. Okay, and so we had a couple of teams that just had phenomenal weeks this week, and I'd really like to hear I know, Jennifer, I see you on there. You're probably on with your phone, right? Can you hear me, Jennifer?
Yes.
I probably have you on mute, right? There we go. And so your whole team, I would like to know some of these teams that are really rocking it, how are you guys supporting each other through this journey? Can you share on that? Or what you did this week to earn all those points, over 3,000?
Well, Lenora, I just had the Facebook party was a great help because I was able to reach a lot of people at one point in time. And then also I was always on the lookout for, looking at how people reacted and seeing that, maybe they need our help. So that was another great factor.
That's great.
And then I was just always, looking out for opportunities. That was my main thing, just looking for opportunities and ways to get out there. That's my thing. That's one of the things I'm working on.
You had a lot of points. You talked to a lot of people. You must have invited a lot of people, and then the people that came, you follow up with. So that's how we get points, and that's how we build our check. And everything that you're getting points for is going to build your check. I want to just, if I can figure this out, my goodness, I'm just having a tough time tonight with why I can't get to the screen that I want to be on. Okay, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to go through, first of all, the teams that, because we had a change in the teams that moved forward in a really significant way this week. And so I wanted to, Jennifer was on that team, and Team Prevention was actually the first place team this week, and they had a total. Now this is going to be a little bit higher than what you guys turned in. Going to be going, we didn't get all that, but you have a ghost player because you only have 5 and some of the teams have 6. And so we averaged all your scores to add it to the 6th person. So your total for the week was 14,880 points because everybody was cranking it, working on all cylinders. So Wendy had another phenomenal week, and Ashley Bulwer, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right, and Carolyn Bird is on that team too, and just had a lot of improvement. Like you guys got to take those 100, that 100-point bonus for moving to the next 1,000. So there were 3 of you that got to do that. So that is just awesome. And I wanted to know, and maybe one of the other people on the team could just share how you're supporting each other as a team. Wendy, are you on there, and could you share how you guys are supporting each other?
Well, we have plenty of conversations on Voxer.
Yep.
And anytime we're having events, then we're sharing it with each other. We're also notifying each other of the calls that are coming up that we can jump on, so we can add
great.
points.
Very good. So you're active on Voxer, because that was the third thing that I wanted to share with you when we started about our goals for this game is the DMO, the accountability, and then the third piece is receiving and giving encouragement, really taking advantage of the community that you're in and using Voxer to do that. I've noticed on teams where they're getting on there and saying, we're having a action call in 30 minutes and jump on if you can. And what I would encourage you to do this week, and this is going to be one of those extra point things that you can do, because checking Voxer, you already get points every day. But I would you can take, instead of the 20, is it 20 points that we have for Voxer?
30 a week.
30 a week?
I mean 30 a day.
30 a day, okay. Okay, if on your Voxer, instead of the 30 that you can get up to 50 a day, because we don't want you to get all your points from Voxer either. But here's what you have to do to get 50 instead of 30. That is, you get on there and say, this is what I did today, or you get on there with an inspirational quote. You do something to encourage your team members. And because I think you will see a change in your own performance if everybody else is counting on each other. And I know that the All-In team has mastered this. They're Voxer bosses. But anyway, I want to encourage you to do that. And again, this is something that only people that are listening to the call will know about the extra points. I may post something, but I want you to know this. I really want it to be for those of you who are trying to maximize this game experience, because that is really why we're doing this. Okay, so the first place team this week was Team Prevention with 14,880 points. The second place team, another super strong week, because I think they were in first place last week, is the All-In team. And the third place team this week was the Mom Bosses. So awesome job, all of you guys. And just really, really impressive that the way that you're supporting each other. So on the highest team score to date, Team Prevention did take the lead at 26,892 total points. The All-In team is at 24,891, and the Mom Bosses are at 21,264 points. And what I think is impressive about this is that there's not any team where there's a bunch of ringers on it. I mean, it's every team has new players. And so, like, I think with Mom Bosses, Brittany she has 2 sales coordinators working with her, but everybody else on the team is brand new to the business. They have never done a game and are just getting started. So it's just taking that action, just getting busy and taking action. And that's what I encourage you to do. Wherever you're at, use the game to move yourself forward, and you'll win at it, whether you win cash prize or not. The high, I was going to tell you, is KK on the phone tonight? Let me see. KK, if you're on, would you unmute yourself? Okay. hopefully she'll get to hear the recording, because KK had a phenomenal week. We had a lot of people that really stepped up this last week, and I want to just really congratulate you. I had started writing it down and then got tied up doing the business conversation thing, but several people had doubled their scores. I know Mark Ruger did on All In Team, and on Team Evolution, Valeka and Sonia and Beverly all more than doubled their score. So just a lot of you stepped up, and a lot of you earned the extra 100 points for going to the next 1,000. So I just want to commend you all for working it. And if you're having a really hard time, there's just all kinds of things going on in your life. Do what you can do. Plan your work your plan around your life. If you've got other things going on, mark those in on your calendar too, on your DMO, and still try and touch your business every day. It's not 5 hours in a day. Talking to somebody every day is the habit that you're trying to develop. So KK was our third highest scorer this week with 3,250 points. Crowd noise, please. Woo-hoo! And Jennifer Green was our second place high scorer with 3,720 points. And Jennifer is new, so that was super impressive. And you heard from her. She had a Facebook party, so did lots of inviting. And our first place winner for this week was Beverly Grandison. And I know Beverly is on here. And she had 5,460 points, to the point where I had to text her and say, "What did you do?" So maybe you can share with us, Beverly. That's like all out massive action. So share with us how you had that kind of week.
Okay, so first place, Happy New Year, everybody, and I am back. I am back off of vacation, so y'all need to stop playing, okay? And I am in a new location. Nobody knows me, and it's been super exciting. But I will tell you where I killed it. I slayed it in three-way calls. I got like 1,000 points in three-way calls last week, which is phenomenal. And I have to give Ashley Boulware her props, because she was I always tell my team to wear me out. Ashley was wearing me out last week, and it is showing in her organization. She signed up, I think, 3 new reps, possibly. I think so.
That's
she
great.
She's on fire, and then really all out. I've been attending networking meetings. I had just making these connections with people in the hotel that I'm staying in, talking to the staff. And so it's just been fun. And then, of course, distributor connections. That's always a high one for me, because I'm deliberate and intentional, and I'm actually connecting with a lot of new sidelines here. So we're creating events here. And so that's been very exciting. So, so it's a lot of activity going on. So I'm looking forward to a really strong February as everything comes into place this month. That's
great. And, if you guys have team members who are playing, be sure and really look at the action, the DMO sheet that they're turning in, and practice at coaching them. And see if they're having any struggles anywhere where it looks like, there's not activity there. And if you need some help, of course, your NMD is on that chat as well, and they'll help you. But it's really good practice for you, too, to just take a look and see what you might be able to recommend. Okay, so what have I not announced? Was Brittany ever able to get on? Do you know, Ashley?
I'm on. It's Brittany.
Oh, here you are. Okay. Sorry, I'm about to sneeze. This has been my ongoing thing. Oh, just a tickle. It may come in a minute. Okay, so Brittany, I can't see you, but I can definitely hear you. And I wanted to tell you on the business conversations, it was really impressive. Just about everybody on her team had at least one business conversation. And Brittany, you might have missed the part where I said, if you had a business conversation, period, you can write in an extra 50 points on your tracker for this week. So anyway, we had we had a number of people who had 3 business conversations, which was awesome. But Brittany was the one that just took this assignment to heart, and she had 8 business conversations. So I wanted to hear from you how that happened. How did you set that intention and make that happen?
Okay, hi. Yeah, I'm on my phone and apparently I need to change my settings, so I'm sorry I can't get my
It's
video camera
okay.
to work this time. But you know, it's funny how sometimes we have these extra incentives or business activities and you really like have it at the forefront of your head, and it was just really motivating. So I had some people in mind that I wanted to reach out to, and I think I was just kind of waiting for conversations to come up organically, and I really just decided to step a little bit more out of my comfort zone, and just most of the time I did the recording option on the Facebook Messenger, and I just basically said, hey, I've been thinking about you lately, and I know we've talked a little bit in the past about what I'm involved with, but I just am thinking that maybe you might resonate with what I'm doing, and I'm wondering if I could have a conversation with you. And if it doesn't end up being a good fit, no problem at all, but I'd love the chance to just talk to you. Are you open to that? And I sent that message to several people, and it just was well received, thankfully. So I had either Facebook Live or Zoom conversations with everybody as much as they were able. If not, we had a phone call. And I had one new gal join my team, and I have 2 more that plan to join at the end of the month.
That's awesome. So how many of you, when you heard that conversation that Brittany had, could have that conversation? That isn't too scary, is it? What she said, no. So Brittany, you are the proud winner of our second week $50 prize. Crowd noise, woohoo!
Thank you so much.
You get to see everybody doing that because they're all on mute. But anyway, that's awesome. So I want to give you I want to tell you, we've had some questions about action calls. And so coming back to that whole idea of supporting each other, I look at action calls as a big example of that, where we get together, we give each other encouragement, we are accountable for that. Really, it's 40 minutes of texting or calling. And so it's that plugging in and being part of the community. And there's so many different times that you can do. And honestly, if you want to get together with a few people and just get on the call and do it, it's so rewarding. We went over that last week, and I won't belabor it, but all it is, because we still have questions about what they are, you get on the phone at the call-in number, and for the first 10 minutes, there's somebody that comes on, a leader that reads an inspirational quote. Then everybody says what they're going to try and accomplish during that next 40 minutes. And unless you're in the middle of a great conversation at 10 to the hour or 10 minutes before the hour would be over, you get back on and share your wins, wows, challenges, anything that you have, just to debrief with some other people that are interested in what you're doing. So if you haven't taken advantage of those, again, be tracking just with tick marks or whatever, write it on your planner, action call contacts up in your upper right-hand corner, so it's easy for your NMD to find it. And we know the numbers because the person who makes the most contacts during action calls, because we just want to have you experience those, will be the winner of our third week $50 prize. So I just want to assign the 4th week, which will start Sunday night, because I figure these first 3 weeks is a culmination. We all have events going on. If you've already done your events and you go, gosh, why did she have to do that in the last week? Guess what? Anytime that you get together with 3 other people, that's what we define as an event, because otherwise you get 30 points for just meeting a prospect or a follow-up on a prospect. But an event is if you get together with 3 people. So our final week contest, I believe it's already going to be our final week, I can't believe it, is the most people at events. So it can be a Facebook event. It could be a Zoom event. It can be meeting in a restaurant with 4 or 5 people. It can be a healthy living event in your home. It can be a speaker. It could be somebody at we have a boot camp next week. And so we have a free event the opening night of that. And you're going to add all of those up. It's not one event. Any events you do all week. So the last week you're going to be tracking the number of people that you involve in a Juice Plus event. Business related, product related, doesn't matter. Everybody clear on that? Okay. So, because we've covered the important skills with our prize money each week. So, really excited. You guys, last week, the team that is in first place wasn't even in the top 3 last week. So there's still room for everybody, okay? It's just all about everything that you can do and seeing where that takes you. And it always takes you to good places. Carolyn or Tyra, do you want to finish out with any last words tonight? You're still in it. There you are.
I was just going to say, we had received a book I received from the Cottons. I don't know if y'all can see. Together is Better.
Yes.
By Simon Sinek. And there was one that when you were just talking about this, working hard for something we don't care about is called stress. So working hard for something we love is called passion. And I think everybody on this call tonight, we all have that passion, but it is working hard, but when you have passion behind it, it's not so hard.
Exactly. And we're not alone. We're doing it
That's
together.
right. Together, everybody. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, I love that little book. I read it on an airplane ride.
Yes. Good.
All right, you guys, make it a wonderful week and post what's going on in your Voxer chats for 50 points instead of 30, okay? And also share on the wall anytime you want to. If you have something great happen, inspire everybody that's playing the game. Don't just keep it to your team, Everybody needs it. So, all right, you guys have a great week, and so proud of all of you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Thank you.